Coffee is weird. It comes from beans. Mix it up with water and boom, you have yourself a good brown morning medicine. A cup of coffee is a personal experience. There are endless ways to prepare it, with new methods being invented every day, and the preferred method boils down to your personal taste, time, and technique. Today, we have 9 tips to help you brew the perfect cup of coffee at home. Let's get started. Buy fresh whole beans. Coffee reaches its peak flavor just days after it's been roasted and should be consumed within a month of its roast date. Buy from a local roaster or roast your own for the absolute freshest beans. Beans packaged by quality-conscious roasters and sold in sturdy vacuum-sealed bags are often the best. Great beans, great coffee. The quality and flavor of your coffee is not only determined by your favorite brewing process, but also by the type of coffee you select. There can be a world of difference between roasts. There are no right or wrong choices. For instance, you can choose a dark, flavorful espresso roast coffee and still have it ground to be brewed in a drip system. Have fun exploring and enjoying different combinations. Keep it fresh. Store open coffee beans in airtight containers. A standard mason jar will suffice for most people. As roasted beans are hygroscopic, it is best not to refrigerate them. Flavor experts strongly advise against freezing coffee, typically dark roast. Ideally, buy a 5 to 7 day supply of fresh beans at a time and keep them at room temperature. If you do refrigerate or freeze your beans, be sure to use a truly airtight container, and freezing beans does not change the basic brewing process. Grind your own. Experts say coffee begins losing its flavor within 30 minutes of being grounded. It is best to grind your coffee immediately before brewing for maximum flavor. The grind size and consistency are hugely important to the taste of your coffee. If it tastes bitter, it may be over-extracted or ground too fine. On the other hand, if it tastes flat, it may be under-extracted or ground too coarse. Measurement. Measure by weight instead of volume. Making better coffee is all about eliminating variables, and one way is to use the same amount of coffee per unit of water each time you brew. Ideally, a ratio of 1 to 20 makes a fairly strong cup of coffee. That is to say, 1 part coffee to 20 parts water, or about 7.5 grams of coffee to 150 milliliters of water. It is up to you what tastes best, which is much easier to do, and replicate once you remove all the guesswork. The bloom. Coffee blooming dampens the coffee bed to provoke the release of carbon dioxide gas left over from the roasting process. Skipping this step will allow the carbon dioxide to repel water during part of the brewing process, effectively making the brew weaker. To bloom your coffee, simply pour hot water over the grinds in a circular motion of the center, moving outwards. Add just enough to soak the coffee, about twice the weight of the coffee. Wait about 30 to 40 seconds while the coffee interacts with the water. Bubbles will form as the carbon dioxide escapes. Then continue to brew your coffee as usual. Temperature. For optimal extraction, your brewer should maintain a water temperature between 195 to 205 degrees Fahrenheit or about 90 to 96 degrees Celsius. Colder water will result in flat, under-extracted coffee, while water that is too hot will also cause a loss of quality in the taste of the coffee. The water. Nothing ruins a pot of coffee more than tap water with chlorine or off flavors. Serious coffee lovers use bottled water or activated charcoal carbon filters on their taps. Hard water full of minerals won't bond well with dissolved particles from the coffee, leading to buildups in your coffee maker, requiring you to descale your coffee maker more often. Also, avoid softened or distilled water as it easily leads to over-extraction, making terrible coffee. And finally, make sure that your tools, from bean grinders and filters to coffee makers, are thoroughly cleaned after each use. It's important to check that no grounds have been left to collect and that there's no buildup of coffee oil, which can make future cups of coffee taste bitter and rancid. Be sure to rinse equipment thoroughly before reuse. Thank you for spending some time with us at U10. Do you brew your own coffee? Let us know in the comment section. And if you enjoyed this video, click here or here for more content from us. Stay safe, be kind, and see you next time.